everyone, I'm Michelle with Designs by JuJu, and in today's video tutorial, we're going to be stitching the brand new In the Hoop Bella Pillow. This is the next in our series of Mandala pillows where you stitch one block 4 times to create a beautiful pattern. Each block is stitched completely in the hoop and a sewing machine is used at the end to assemble. There are 4 hoopings required to make this pillow, and the pillow is available in 5 sizes. In today's tutorial, I will be stitching the 8x8 size. Make sure to reference the PDF included with your cut chart so that you can see finished sizes for each of the pillows. Each pillow features intricate applique work as well as beautiful detail stitching. Let's get started. For the In the Hoop Bella Pillow, you will need the following supplies. Fabric cut according to the supply list listed within your PDF. I'm going to be using a variety of fabrics from the Riley Blake Designs collections, including cotton shades, POParazzi, Confetti cotton solids, and Love Me More lines. No Show Mesh Cutaway Embroidery Stabilizer. I'm using magicMESH Cutaway Embroidery Stabilizer from Designs by JuJu Plus. loftySOFT batting, again from Designs by JuJu Plus. Embroidery thread, and some finishing supplies, including a rotary cutter and some scissors. All right, let's head over to the embroidery machine and let's get stitching. The Bella Pillow is available in 5 sizes. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be stitching the 8x8 size. I already have my 8x8 hoop loaded onto my embroidery machine, and I have my magicMESH Cutaway Embroidery Stabilizer from Designs by JuJu Plus on my hoop here. I have also secured that stabilizer using some sewing pins along the edges. I like to use sewing pins to secure my stabilizer to the outside of my hoop. This helps to prevent bunching and pulling as well as puckering during stitching. All right, so I am ready to go ahead and run my first stitch, which is going to be the placement line for my batting. Next, I'm going to place my loftySOFT batting from Designs by JuJu Plus directly on top of those placement stitches, and I'm going to run the tack down stitch to secure my batting in place. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and I'm going to trim away the excess batting right outside of this tack down stitch, making sure not to trim any of the stitches. I've just trimmed away the excess stabilizer right outside of that tack down stitch, so now I'm ready to begin the applique placement lines and tack down stitches. There are numerous applique pieces within this design, and that's what makes this pillow so cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the first applique piece, and then I'm also going to stitch the remaining applique pieces on camera, but I am going to speed that process up just so that you can see how the applique pieces are placed, but that way you don't have to watch all of the stitching in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and run the first placement line for my first applique fabric. If you have referenced the cut chart included with your supply list that's included within your PDF download, you will see exactly the fabric sizes and recommendations for this project. So I already have my first piece of fabric cut, and I'm going to place it directly on top of this applique placement stitch. I am going to leave at least a 1/2 inch of an overhang along this outer edge here. I'm actually going to leave a little bit excess just so I don't cut myself short. And then I'm going to run the tack down stitch to secure that applique fabric in place. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and I'm going to trim away the excess fabric right along the bottom portion of this tack down stitch. I don't want to trim the applique fabric around the outer edge because I need that when I go to assemble my pillow later. So let me trim that and I'll show you what it looks like. So as you can see, I've just trimmed away the excess fabric along the bottom here using my curved tip applique scissors, and I left all of this outer fabric along the outer edges. I left that fabric long. You want to leave that long. Like I said, that will become very important as we go to assemble our pillow later here in the final steps. So next I'm going to put my hoop back on my machine and I am going to repeat those exact same steps for the remaining applique pieces. The important thing to remember is anywhere where there is fabric that is touching this outer edge, you want to leave that fabric long. If there's fabric on the inner part of this pillow panel, you want to trim that right along the tack down stitch. So like I said, I'm going to show you each of these applique pieces just so you can see how they look. There are also more detailed pictures included within your PDF download that you get with your purchase. So if you need additional step-by-step pictures for what you should be cutting and what you shouldn't be cutting, make sure to reference those step-by-step pictures. All right, so I'm going to run these stitches and we're going to keep moving on this pillow panel. Now that all of my applique pieces are finished, I'm ready to go ahead and do all of my decorative and satin stitches off camera. I'm going to run those stitches and then we'll check back in once they're complete. Now that all of the decorative and satin stitching is complete, I'm ready to remove this panel from my hoop. Now that I've got my panel removed from my hoop, I'm ready to go ahead and trim away all of this excess stabilizer around the outer edge of the block. I'm just going to use my trimmer by George and my rotary cutter to trim away this excess stabilizer. Next, I'm going to trim a 1/2 inch seam allowance around the outer tack down stitch here. Now that I have my 1/2 inch seam allowance, this block is complete. So I am going to repeat these exact same steps 3 additional times so that I have 4 blocks total. I've just completed stitching all 4 of my blocks, so now I'm ready to start assembling my pillow. The first thing I need to do is lay out my design for my pillow. Now, as you can see, each of these panels is identical, but the way that you get this awesome design is by turning and altering the blocks so that they create one uniform design. How cool is that? So now that I have my layout set out, I'm ready to start assembling my pillow. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the top 2 panels. So I'm going to set my bottom 2 panels off to the side. Again, make sure to pay attention to the layout for your pillow. You don't want to accidentally have one turned wonky. Your design should line up like so. So you can see how that pattern is just going to connect seamlessly. Now that I have my first 2 blocks laid out, I'm ready to go ahead and take my second block over here on the side, and I'm going to flip it so that right sides are together on my first block, like so. Next, I'm going to line up the outermost edge along this side here. And again, you know you're on the right side because this is where your pattern lines up, okay? You want these two scallops to line up, your dots are gonna line up. So you're gonna line up the edge over on this side, and I am just going to line up the outermost tack down stitch here. If you remember, we had our placement and tack down stitch for our batting, and then we have our placement and tack down stitch for all of our applique fabric work. So we're gonna be lining up that outermost tack down stitch, and then you're going to pin or clip it in place. I prefer to use clips, but pins work as well. It's personal preference. You just want to make sure you're lining up that outermost tack down stitch. As you're lining this up, make sure to pay careful attention again to where the scallop and these fabrics are going to meet. It's going to be extremely obvious when you go to open this panel that you're creating if those seam lines are not lined up exactly correct. That's where you're going to notice it the most, okay? So really pay careful attention right here where our pink and our white fabric meets up, as well as those scallops. They should line up exactly on top of each other like so. You can always tear out your stitches. Nothing is permanent here. So if you do mess up, it's okay. We've all done it. Okay, so once you have your two panels pinned or clipped together, you're ready to take this over to your sewing machine, and you're going to run a stitch again just inside that outermost tack down stitch. You want to make sure that you're just inside, not too far in, otherwise the panels won't fit together like they're supposed to. Just inside this outermost tack down stitch, right between the placement and tack down line for the batting and the placement and tack down line for these outer applique fabrics. All right, I'm gonna go run that stitch off camera and we'll check back in once it's complete.
Uh-oh.
All right, even we make mistakes. So look here, this is exactly what I was talking about how important it is to make sure those stitches are lined up. And as you can see, that looks a bit wonky. My top stitch is also not lined up perfectly, and you can see my outer stitch down here is also a little bit off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tear out those stitches and I'm gonna try again. That's just how this works. Sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. It doesn't always work on the first time. So I'm gonna repin or reclip, and I'm gonna stitch again and try that step one more time. Oh my goodness, look how much better that looks. So as you can see, it's lined up a lot better. My edges are a lot more lined. So this top portion of our pillow is complete. So now I'm going to repeat those exact same steps with the two bottom panels, and then we'll have two halves of our pillow. All right, as you can see, I have the top half of my pillow and the bottom half of my pillow complete. So now I am going to take the top portion and I'm going to flip it so right side is facing down, and I'm going to pin or clip again along the edge. Pay attention to where the seams are at. You really want to start there and line up those edges. And then, like I said, pin or clip. Again, pay attention to your scallop. You want those to line up on both sides. So take your time. Also make sure that your panel reflects what your bottom panel has. So the top half should reflect the bottom half. You want all of your hearts facing in, or if you're doing one of our other pillows, just make sure to follow the pictures included with your PDF or the product shots on the website so you make sure you have your pillow layout correct. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pin and clip this, and then I'm gonna take it over to my sewing machine and stitch the top half to the bottom half. All right, so I have my top panel clipped to my bottom panel. I also forgot to mention, as you stitch together these panels, you want to press open your seams like I did here. I did that on the top and the bottom panel. So now again, I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch again just inside that outermost tack down stitch all the way along the entire pillow half. Both halves of the pillow are now stitched together, and we have our pillow front complete. So now that our pillow front is complete, the next step is going to be to add our backing. For this tutorial, I'm going to be stitching an envelope backing for my pillow. I already have two pieces of fabric cut for my envelope backing. So when you make an envelope backing, you have two pieces that are cut according to the supply list listed within your PDF download. So I have them cut, I have them folded, and I have a nice pressed seam here on the edge, okay? So I have one piece here that's already laid nice and flat, and then I have my second piece, and these are what create your envelope backing. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna line them up, leaving about an 1.5 to 2 inch overhang. Then I'm going to place the front of my pillow right here along the top, and I'm going to face it so my right side is facing down. So I'm going to center this pillow front between where these two pieces overlap. So here's my overlap. As you can see, it's about 2 inches, and I'm going to center this portion of my pillow up with that overlap. Then I'm going to pin my pillow front to my backing fabric all the way around. So you want to make sure again that you have your right side facing down onto your two folded pieces that are overlapped about 1.5 to 2 inches. Now that I have the pillow front pinned to my two pieces of my envelope backing, I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch just inside that outermost tack down line all the way around the entire pillow front. I've just secured my envelope backing, making sure to stitch just inside that outermost tack down line all the way around the entire front of the pillow. And so now I am going to remove my pins, and we're going to trim away some of this excess backing fabric. Next, I'm going to trim all the way around the entire outside edge of the pillow, leaving a 1/2 inch seam allowance. If you trimmed your panels earlier, leaving a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you can just trim right along the edge of that. You will also want to trim your corners at an angle here. That will make it easier to turn your pillowcase when it's time here in a bit. All right, the final step is to turn our pillowcase through the envelope opening along the back here. So here is one side of our envelope opening and here's the other side. So I'm just gonna flip the pillow through the envelope opening, and I'm going to use my turning tool to gently push out the corners of the pillow. This is why you trimmed those corners at an angle also. And here's my completed pillowcase. So now all you need to do is get a pillow form that is appropriate to the size of pillowcase that you've made, and you'll place it in the envelope backing here at the back, and your pillow is complete. You can display it throughout your home. I've just completed stitching the In the Hoop Bella Pillow. As stated before, this is the next in our series of Mandala pillows available from Designs by JuJu. On camera, I showed you how to stitch one of the 4 panels needed for the pillow. Then I showed you how easy it is to assemble this pillow using these 4 panels. This pillow is absolutely gorgeous. Imagine the color variations you could do to make this match your home decor perfectly. If the Bella pillow isn't your style, make sure to check the description box below. We'll have our other Mandala pillows linked below. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. Make sure to check the description box below for additional helpful links. Also, make sure to join the Designs by JuJu Blessings Facebook group for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. We hope to see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy stitching!